Tonight, I did my proposal. My wedding engagement proposal. But looking back, if you think about the specifics, I didn't actually include everything necessary. I knelt down. I guess that's important, right? I then presented the ring in a little case that opened up with a light on top because that was too hard to carry in my pocket. Such a big box. Small pockets in those skinny jeans. I didn't actually wait till she said yes. But I mean, is it actually important? In my case, it was actually not important because I already knew she wanted to get married. It was a proposal for a formality for an event. Would it be different if I didn't know what she would answer? If I didn't know that she would say yes? Well, no, my cousin said. You know, all the details, all the specifics, nobody remembers that. He remembered where they went to dinner. His wife? I don't think she actually did. They actually went to the top of Taipei 101. The sequence of events? Well, she remembers he came back from the bathroom because he went to change. She remembers that it's a good thing that she actually dressed up because he told her to be casual. They had gone that day to the hot springs. But what they had for dinner? Huh. They could not recall it at all. And they could actually care less. Does it really matter? Did it really matter? Will there ever be a time that the details do matter? I mean, if you look back on things, we just remember the gist of it, the feeling we had. We don't even remember it correctly sometimes. Yes, some details stand out, like how long you had to wait, your heart pounding before she gave an answer. But in terms of other things, what you had for dinner, did you have the steak or did you have the chicken? Was it lobster? I mean, unless something really memorable happened, like you had pasta and they got all over their shirt, I don't think it really makes much of a difference. And yet we say details are important. What do we mean by that? Well, if you're performing in front of Kim Jong Un, probably yes, it's important, otherwise, you may lose your life. But if you're not, well, does it matter? For gymnastics, it matters. You gotta nail that landing. Can't move a foot, literally. For sports, yeah, I mean, details matter. If it's an inch out, it's out. If it's an inch in, it's in. But for life and our interaction with other people, we talk about this idea of making a good first impression. You need to make the perfect first impression. If you bungle it, no more. But many times people don't make the good first impression. They don't have a perfect first interview. And yet somehow it seems to work out. I remember my first few job interviews. Interviewed at one company and I don't even remember what exactly happened except that they never invited me back. The other company, I think I have a telephone interview first, then one in person. They asked me to do some programming to code a simple program. I did it and didn't even run. And I thought, wow, I'm done. This is it. But lo and behold, I got called. I actually took a trip with my friends. This is after I graduated from college. None of us had jobs, no prospects either. And so I was like, oh, why not take a trip? Our last big trip of college, right? And so I got a phone call during the trip. Had I cut the trip short because he asked my future boss, when can you start? This upcoming Friday? Like, well, currently not in the state, but I mean, I didn't say that, but yeah, basically I could. So we had to hurry back. But I failed to write a piece of code that ran. How could I be hired? Wasn't that something important? Not even a little detail? I mean, when you're proposing to somebody, they know what you mean, even if you get the words wrong. Even if you rush too fast, stutter, mumble, whatever. Don't speak loud enough when you're in crowd. But somehow, they get it. Even though all the literal sounds coming out may not be proper. Even though the positioning of the ring may not be proper. Are the details the things that make the feeling afterwards? The only most intricate thing I could think of in America is not some high class restaurant or fancy hotel. No, I mean, they say that they pay attention to details. That's how you get Michelin stars, right? The waiter, you never have to actually motion to have them over. They're there whenever you need them, literally. But I remember Disney World in Florida. I was going there after I had finished my education, so I'm a bit older than the normal kids. My friend lived in Orlando, had a annual pass, so I bought a ticket and we went around. And I remember walking between the parks and coming upon a spider web about a meter wide, stretched between two trees. Perfect, picture perfect. Just like what you would imagine of a spider web, what it should like if it's 3 feet wide. And yet I wondered, is this real or did they make it that way? Did Disney have such insight as to make a spider web so perfect? I mean, is Disneyland fun or Disney World fun because they have all the details right? I mean, I think now looking at it, it looks fairly amazing. But what is the difference between the details and the gist? How many details do you need to get it right to make the gist of it? We remember details here and there, but we remember not details as in the way he opened the box and presented a ring, or which foot he had in front when he knelt down. No, we remember details as in things that somehow catch our mind, catch our attention, catch our imagination. And they could be details, not so much in important details, final touches, but things maybe they do wrong that just stand out. Like he tripped before he knelt down. We do catch on the details, but these are details we use to make a story out of. When we tell a story, we have to exaggerate certain little points to make them big points. That's what comedians do all the time. They present a world that's the same as the world we live in, but somehow different. And it's because they focus and magnify different things. Those are details, but not details in the way we think of, as every little detail that you want to get correct when you make a proposal. It's all about the story. And the ring I chose from Mokume Ganeya has a great story. In the sense of the sakura, they have a little petal, a little piece of gold that sticks off the diamond. What is that for? It's so weird. And then they explained it. Oh, the stem? It's the stem of the sakura flower. And then it makes sense. And I was like, oh, yeah. I think I do want that, even though before I thought it's some weird thing that sticks out. And it's not so much details, but stories. Things that inspire feeling. And so when you think of something, and you make a story out of it, it's not the details as in all the little intricacies that you gotta do properly to make a mosaic, to cut a diamond ring. But it's about aberrations, uniqueness, uncommon things that just capture your imagination and set it free and let it run about and write its own story.